The smell of motor oil clung to his clothes, the grease beneath his fingernails stubbornly refusing to wash away. Jack Walker, a single dad of two, stood outside the diner with his toolbox in hand and an empty wallet in his back pocket. His stomach growled, but he knew his kids needed the last loaf of bread at home more than he did. That's when he saw it, a sleek black BMW stalled at the edge of the parking lot. The driver, a woman in her late 30s dressed in a sharp blazer, was pacing nervously, her phone pressed to her ear. Jack hesitated. He wasn't a mechanic by trade anymore, not since life had knocked him off the track and into survival mode. But he knew engines. Engines were the one thing that never lied to him. Swallowing his pride, Jack approached her. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "I can take a look at it, if you could maybe spare a meal." She lowered her sunglasses and gave him a once-over, her brow tightening. A stranger offering to touch her luxury car in exchange for food? It sounded crazy. But something in his voice, low, steady, unpolished, made her pause. "Fine," she said reluctantly. "If you can get it started, I'll buy you dinner." Jack nodded, rolled up his sleeves, and got to work. Within minutes, his hands moved with a precision that seemed almost surgical. He listened to the hum of the engine, tapped a part here, tightened a bolt there, and with a final turn of the wrench, the BMW roared back to life. The woman blinked in disbelief. "Who are you?" she whispered. Jack only smiled faintly. "Just a dad trying to get by." They went inside the diner. True to her word, she bought him the biggest meal on the menu. Jack ate like a man who hadn't tasted kindness in a long while, but he never once forgot to box up food for his kids. That small act touched her more than she expected. As they sat across from each other, something nagged at her. The way he had handled the car, the speed, the confidence, reminded her of someone. A memory flickered. Her father used to watch NASCAR religiously, and on their TV screen years ago, she remembered a young driver with the same calm eyes and firm grip on the wheel. Her voice trembled. "Wait a second, are you Jack Walker? The racer who disappeared after that crash in Daytona?" Jack froze, fork halfway to his mouth. The name he'd buried deep, the life he had walked away from, it was out in the open again. "Yes," he admitted softly. "That was me. I walked away when the fame didn't put food on the table, and my kids needed me more than any trophies ever could." The woman's eyes widened. This wasn't just a struggling single dad, this was a lost legend. Word spread quickly. The diner buzzed as whispers grew. "That's Jack Walker. The man who could outdrive anyone. The one who vanished." Strangers who had never given him a glance now looked at him with awe. But Jack didn't bask in it. He looked down at the small takeout boxes, smiling softly. "I'm just a dad," he repeated. Then something remarkable happened. The woman, who turned out to be an executive for a racing sponsor, picked up her phone. Within hours, she arranged for Jack to visit the track again, just to see if the fire still lived in him. Jack didn't expect the test drive to change his life. But when he slid behind the wheel, the old instincts rushed back. The roar of the engine wasn't just noise, it was music. And for the first time in years, he wasn't just surviving. He was alive. Tears filled his eyes as he pulled into the pit stop. His kids were there, cheering, waving, their voices louder than any crowd he'd ever raced for. The woman smiled. "Sometimes, legends aren't lost. They're just waiting for someone to believe in them again." Jack never forgot that day, not because it gave him a second chance at racing, but because it reminded him that kindness, even as small as a meal, can uncover stories the world has forgotten. And so, the struggling single dad who once begged for food didn't just fix a BMW. He fixed a piece of himself. Sparkle's positive closing message. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness reveal the greatest stories. Behind every stranger you pass, there might be a battle, a sacrifice, or even a legend, just waiting to be seen.